I admittedly don't know how a lot of things work, but I like to present ideas.
I was just talking to my AI about this, seeing what could be done. And the AI recommends, and I kind of agree with this. I was on this in this subject after I saw the leader of the Green Party talking about water bombers, and I was like, we need a force, a not a brigade, because a brigade is like 3,000 soldiers. We need like a battalion. The 300 to 500 people are generally in a battalion, so we need like a the Canadian something emergency battalion, and it's part of the armed forces, runs concurrently with the armed forces, trained by the armed forces in the basics of military. Maybe it's an extension of the army, um, and a subcomponent that is like an extension of the Air Force, where they use bombers, water bombers, and those water bombers are all made by de Havilland apparently right now, if the leader of the Green Party is correct. They have major contracts going, like they have a whole bunch of them waiting in a queue. So we should get Bombardier or some other domestic manufacturer to make some water bombers, cancel the F-35 program, and put it all into something like this, so that they're trained in defense against, or like you said, prevention. They know how to deal with prevention in those things, and if we have other domestic issues, kind of like a FEMA that the United States has, a Federal Emergency Management Battalion. I like the word battalion. It makes it sound like we're going to really get that fire out. And they have their own force that they bring with them. You know, a battalion would have its armaments and things like that, as well as the personnel. So if they're trained properly, especially in prevention, then as an extension of the armed forces, they would be tasked to do prevention when it's not fire season. And if the fire season comes around, then they go and they take care of business. Ordering a bunch of water bombers, I don't know. That's one of those questions of whether or not prevention is being done. Because if we do the prevention right, we don't need the water bombers. So whatever is the least expensive, I guess, to train a bunch of people to do it, keep them as a part of the armed forces, or order a bunch of water bombers. I don't know, but I think that we should have, because we're getting into an environmental crisis now with these wildfires. And if there's anything else that happens, I mean, for all we know, hurricanes can start happening in fucking PEI or something. We get tornadoes now occasionally in Ontario, so why not? I think it'd be a good idea. Anyways, that's my input. Cheers.